Hey everybody, I'm Jack with Future Pastimes. I'm a designer on Dune themed games and expansions, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing an Etsy Dune expansion. The link is in the description, and this is from the same Etsy shop, Zoltan, that I've done some other reviews for, some other variant and game accessories for your classic Dune 2019 edition from Gale Force 9. So this one is the double Spice Blow set that he has on Etsy that includes a few extra things on it. So let's take a look at what's in it and what I think. There's a little rules card that explains how the double Spice Blow decks work. So there are actually two different decks. One of them has 18 spice cards. So this is going to replace your normal Spice Blow deck, and it's for, presumably, for advanced rules, so that you are going to have the two Spice Blows, but it's only going to be one card. So this card lets you know where both Spice Blows are and how much spice you're going to add to it. Now, what it does do is it does add in some territories that don't normally have Spice Blows. So they won't have the icons on the board that tells you where and how much, but the information is on the spice card, so you can use this. Now, I have a custom playmat that has extra Spice Blows on it, and I already have a double Spice Blow deck that I'm using. That looks a little bit different from this one, but this is pretty good quality. I like what he's done with this. Or whoever has done with it, but he's done a good job printing it. So the card quality is good. It's a good quality card. It's nice color, and the details are pretty good on here as well. So here's an example. I mean, for instance, this is normally not a territory where you get a Spice Blow, but it is on here. 18 cards. Now, with my double Spice Blow, I don't have as many cards, and that is because I wanted Shai-Hulud to potentially show up a little bit more often. Now, you can kind of get that effect with the other one. So the rule book on the card on the other side, it has it more as a Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy. So that is the movie Dune version. It's not clear to me if he's suggesting that this replaces the movie Dune deck. It certainly could, but there's fewer cards here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're definitely going to have Shai-Hulud show up more often if you're using this one. So because it's in the classic Dune style, the 2019 version, you can use it for that. I suppose you could use it for your movie Dune if you don't mind that it's completely different art direction. So that's up to you. There are, of course, the Shai-Hulud cards. So you've got the worm here, and it also includes Sand Trout, which was the special Spice Blow card from the first expansion, and the Great Maker, which is the special one from the third expansion that is meant to be used with the Discovery tokens, and so he's included those as well. So you have your 3 high reg territories and your 3 smuggler token territories that let you know where to place those tokens and where the Spice Blow occurs. And then there's a few new cards. So it includes these 3 cards, and these are kind of fun. These are called Spice Stocks, and they are for the 3 Sieches. So there's one for Tuic Siege, Tabr, and Habanya Siege. And what happens is you reveal the next spice card after you draw this. And if it is a Spice Blow, you're going to put the spice into the siege for this card instead of the indicated area. So if you draw this and then you ended up drawing, Haga Basin, you're not going to put the spice in Haga Basin. You're actually going to add the spice to that siege. And my guess is that you collect the spice at the spice collection phase if you have forces in there, presumably at the normal spice collection rate, so 2 spice per force, unless you have ornithopters and carryalls, which means you occupy Carthag or Arakeen, and then you're 3 spice per force. I'm not sure. This may be a reference to another variant idea that somebody else has posted, and these are just the cards for it. I'm not familiar with that, so chime in the comments if you are. But I think it's a fun idea. I like this. This is it's a little bit different and keeps everyone on their toes. And then it also comes with these other special cards. So we have a one that's called a Spice Harvest card. The next Spice Blow card drawn has 50% more spice placed within its territory for that turn. So if the card reads 6, then it would be 9. If it reads 10, it would be 15. There's a little bit of the math there for you. Set this card aside and draw a new card until a Spice Blow occurs. So that's a fun effect. You've got Ya Chahada, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing correctly. So that one, the faction in the territory of the last Spice Blow loses 2 forces, except for the Fremen. And then Fremen can bring a Fedaykin into the territory from another territory or the reserve. If there is no faction in the territory, then take 2 spice from it back to the bank if there is any. And draw a new spice card. So that's interesting. I got no qualms about that. I probably will add that in there for fun. And then you have Laza Tiger, which is kind of a similar thing. The faction in the territory of the last Spice Blow loses 3 forces, except for the Emperor. And then the Emperor can revive one of their Sardaukar from the Tleilaxu tanks. It says Tleilax tanks, but that's fine. To his reserve for free. It's not clear if that is your 1 Sardaukar per turn. Presumably it is, unless this is designed to break that rule. It's not clear, so that I guess you can house rule or determine for yourselves, or reach out to whoever came up with that idea and see what they think of it. So on the whole, I think these are very cool. I already endorse and like the double Spice Blow cards. It's an idea that I have been using for some time now. I was first inspired by it when I saw the vinyl playmat that Gale Force 9 put out, which is a larger map of Arrakis. And at the very bottom of the mat, they have a space for spice cards and treachery cards with a discard pile. But there was only 1 discard pile for spice, and I tried to point out this means this mat is really only usable for basic, because you need 2 discard piles when you're playing advanced. But they were like, well, people can figure it out. And so I said, well, I don't want to figure it out. I'm going to actually make spice cards that have 1 discard pile, because there's 2 Spice Blows on it, which I think is fun. It means that the Atreides movement advantage, where they get to see the next card up, has a little more impact. But for me, the real strength is how I think it makes the Fremen a little bit more powerful, because now there are going to be 2 Spice Blows that a sandworm will go to. So they can really double their chances of being able to ride the worm. And with my deck, because there are fewer cards, you're more likely to draw a sandworm a little more regularly, which then you would in basic, because basic you're only drawing the 1 card, but it's the same number of spice cards as in advanced. With advanced, you have the 2 that you're drawing. You're more likely to get a sandworm, but of course, you're not as likely to get 1 in both territories, because you're doing each one separately. So that's kind of how that works. That's not all that comes with it. The other thing that is included here is another Kurama reference. And this one, again, is very similar to a Kurama reference that I've already implemented on my own. I've got some cards here. I can kind of show you one. This is the Bene Gesserit one. So I've got a Kurama card. And it lets you know on the top what your special once per game Kurama effect is. If you play a Kurama, of course, for the Bene Gesserit, they don't have one. But what I've done here is I put a reminder on there that they can use worthless cards as Kurama, and a little reminder of what those Kurama effects are. You know, get a free card, half price shipping, etc. And then the bottom portion of the card tells you advantage by advantage. What effect can be canceled and how that is implemented, with a little gap here between basic and advanced. So that's my version of it. What Zoltan has on his is very similar. So but what he's done is he's included enough copies so that everyone in a 6-player game can have their own copy. So this is the Atreides. So you have 6 copies of the Atreides one, so you can see what their special once per game Karama effect is, and then how Karama can be used to stop Atreides advantages. So this one, everything fits on one side, but if we look at like the Bene Gesserit one, it's using 2 sides. And I've managed to fit everything on one side. The font is a little bit smaller, not that much though. It's still pretty readable, but this is fine. I think it's okay if you're all right with having some cards that have a back and some cards that don't. But he has all 12 factions in here, so you've got the this is the Richesse one, for instance, and so again the quality is good. It looks really nice. And what he's done here for basic and advanced is different font colors. So it's black for your basic, and then you've got a blue font on the advantage name for the advanced effects, so that you've got that differentiation there. Here you can see for like Chom, it's done a double color there, and it's Chom on both sides because it just didn't fit on one side. So that I think will be useful. It's fun. I like the back art. This has been around for a little while. It's kind of in the Ilya style, but it's paying homage to the original Karama art from the Avalon Hill edition, which is also what this eye is from that. So I just basically used one part for my Karama back. So either way, I think this is a pretty good thing to pick up from Etsy. I think it's worth it. I give it my endorsement. I think that a lot of people will have fun with this. There's a lot of neat stuff in the spice deck. There's a couple of different ways you can play with the double spice blows. So whether you're using Dune Conquest or Classic Dune, probably Classic Dune is a better fit for either of those. But it gives you a sense of what that's like. You've got a couple of extra new territories where you're going to get a spice blow and some interesting new effects. And then these are always handy. Everyone here, my version, there's only the one. So if you're like, I wonder how I can use my Karama to stop Atreides advantages, and they're like, can I borrow your card? And that's maybe a bit of a giveaway. Although it's going to be a giveaway if you're holding several of these cards and you're like, let me just take a look at this for reasons. And you could, of course, you can bluff, which you can do with my cards as well. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But yes, I recommend it. Check out the link. I think it's a good way to bling up and enhance your Dune experience. It's a fun way, and this is a pretty smooth integration into the game. Of course, it includes everything you need, so you don't have to feel like, oh, there's 2 different types of spice cards in here. Although I guess you could mix in some of the new effects into your normal card without using the double spice blow. I think these will probably fit in pretty well. They're pretty close, and I think it'll work. And if it doesn't, well, then you can just use the other spice deck if you need to. That's it. Chime in if you've had a chance to play with these, and if you have more information about some of these other variants and maybe their origins, and other suggestions. And that's it for this one. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again soon.